Hey everybody, thanks for checking out this World of Tanks video, and thanks for playing World of Tanks. Alright, so I'm here in the M26 Pershing, Tier 8 Tech Tree U.S. medium tank. And with this, the match in this video, we're going to take a look at and kind of maybe talk about awareness, kind of maintaining awareness, whether we're calling that situational awareness or whether we're talking about map awareness. And generally speaking, I want to put that in terms of being aware of the other vehicles in the match with you, and that's both of the ally vehicles and the enemy vehicles. Alright. So here at the beginning, just kind of taking it easy. I'm not getting too far out there, and I think our team is deploying fairly well as well. Nobody's getting too wild with things. We're all kind of sticking together, supporting one another, or at least keeping ourselves in positions from which we can support one another. I notice we have a couple of heavies up here north. I think that those are the only heavies we have on our team, and so I'm kind of coming up here trying to support them. You know, putting myself in a position to kind of fight off any enemies that maybe try to push around behind these heavies. Otherwise, just help them out. We got kind of some numbers over here, and I think the enemy team kind of does as well. And there, the GW Tiger P enemy artillery was shooting at one of my allies here in this area, and hits me blindly. You know, I have not been spotted. I still have not been. There I am. But to that point, I hadn't been spotted up yet, I don't think. Anyway, I got hit by the enemy artillery. And so I'm kind of coming around, making sure that I've got cover now, and trying to get a shot on the backside of that heavy there. And I still have that enemy artillery, that same GW Tiger P, firing at me. Apparently I'm the target to hit now that I've been touched once. Well, no big deal. I know how to use map cover, so that's what I want to do. And I'm already you know, below half my hit points. Maybe I have like a third of my hit points left. Get into position, take a shot again. Enemy tries again to hit me, and that time doesn't do any damage. And I don't know that time whether that was, you know, which of those two enemy artillery pieces that was. I just don't know. So now I'm really just making sure that I'm protected, now that I know that I have repeated artillery fire on me, and maybe even two artilleries firing on me. Still looking for any shots that come my way. I know that I'm not spotted up yet. I know that at this point in time, the enemy players have no idea where I'm at. Well, now they do. I got spotted up with that 6th sense you see popping up, but there for a little bit they didn't know where I was at. Anyway, just redeploying there, renegotiating the terrain, renegotiating the map, and we have a bunch of guys. So they basically won this north central part of the map, right? We have like and already up here right now. Anyway, we have this one heavy who's getting, you know, taking some pretty big shots, and of course me kind of moving around. There goes that artillery, and that heavy tank is, you know, surrounded and stuff. So I'm not really going to be able to help him out without just giving up my hit points as well. Alright, so at this point I'm moving back toward my allies, and I know that I've got them kind of down south and along the east portions of the map, so that's where I'm heading as fast as I can. Here I know I've got that light tank, and I can probably anticipate that medium tank coming in behind me. So I dart in behind some cover here. There goes one of their shots into the dirt. And I've got some allies already shooting these enemies that are coming after me. There I block some shots. There's heavy coming up after me. Maintaining this cover position, using apparently a cover kind of a opportunity here where they don't really have anything on me except for that light tank. So I back up some more, get into some more cover, anticipating that they're going to be coming at me. I do have that ally medium kind of coming in behind me now at D8, so my allies are definitely aware of the situation, and there I gave up a shot needlessly. But that's okay. That enemy heavy's not in a good spot at all. Got probably my 2 ally mediums firing on him, and probably my ally artillery as well. And we might be able to say that that Nomad got what that Nomad deserved, right? Charging after me. So that's an example of me kind of being aware of what I was up against. A whole bunch of enemies up in the north central part of the map. And also keeping in mind my allies kind of down farther south, and then also still in the east. So at this point I head toward the west, where we have a light tank and a medium tank down there, apparently trying to capture out. The enemy still has 2 artillery at this point in time. They have that 1 medium. We are going to see that that's the same medium that had been up in the north fighting me. Takes out our P-44 Pantera, and there goes the GW Tiger P. The Turtle takes out that artillery. At this point, I think that our light tank would have done well to have tried to get out of that situation rather than trying to fight the enemy light tank. That enemy light tank is pretty much full health, and our Turtle light tank is quite low, and also is up against an enemy medium in addition to the enemy light tank. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out where to go. Recognize that that enemy medium had not doubled back, is still over there in the far west, so I continue on toward the west. I was afraid that that medium tank had kind of doubled back into the center part of the map. That medium had not, as it turns out, and there goes our light tank. So at this point we know where the enemy light and enemy medium tanks are at, and right there at G3, that Soviet medium has gotten down the hill and could be assaulted by the enemy light and enemy medium. We don't know. They're apparently holding back right now. They could be coming kind of up north into like more where I am at up here on the rise. We just don't know. I'm not willing to go down low until we have a sense of where they're at. And there comes that light tank. Still don't know what that medium is up to at this point. Could be coming down low, could be coming up high, we just don't know. I'm not willing to push forward until I have a sense of where that medium is at, what that medium is up to. I don't want to get that medium behind me. And turns out that medium was coming kind of more or less right where I was at or close to it. So there goes the light tank, and there goes the Object 416. And by this point in time, this Trinity has come forward. I wasn't really willing to be too aggressive there with the few amount of hit points that I've got. This Trinity has a much larger amount of hit points than I do. So also a lot more armor, if we're honest. So I was definitely happy that that Trinity made it up here and was able to be aggressive in a way that was much more dangerous for me than for that Trinity. So at this point we still don't know where that artillery is at. My guess is that artillery is kind of back in there like G1, and I indicate that here shortly. That's where I'm kind of headed, looking for that artillery. And there is the artillery indeed right in that area. So falling back, pushing around, and it looks like that Trinity does have some shots on the GW Panther artillery. And so they're here kind of in this final portions of the match back by the enemy spawn area. You know, I was aware that those enemy vehicles were still running around. I was aware that that medium could have been, you know, a number of different locations, and I wasn't willing to commit my own location you know, kind of pushing forward. I wasn't willing to commit to that until I had a sense of where that enemy medium was at. I didn't want to get caught with that enemy medium coming up on my side or coming up behind me. I wanted to try to maintain position in such a way where I had the front of my vehicle and my gun kind of pointed toward that enemy medium as much as I could determine. Well, thanks for taking a look at this World of Tanks video, and thanks for playing World of Tanks.